I don't normally make videos with my voice because I personally don't like the way it sounds. But I kid you not, like, this lore is so long that, like, CapCut couldn't even do the text-to-speech thing. So I gotta read it myself. Please, don't judge me. I know it's kind of half-baked and my characters aren't the best because I kind of just made it up on the spot over the span of a few months, like, since, like, September 2025. It's July 2026, but still, I'm only just now, like, finally opening up and talking about my season characters, so please don't judge them. Because at least their designs are kind of old, and I'm gonna be, like, redrawing them on the side of the screen for their, like, quote-unquote official design or whatever. But because their lore is so, like, long, I think I'm just gonna read it myself. Sorry for the low-quality microphone. I'm broke. I don't got no money to buy one. Yeah. Okay, lore. Scarlet. Her struggles are SH. She's lonely, her mother passed away, and her father is sick, and she's bullied by Yuna. To clarify, her mother got sick and passed away, and ever since she began to blame herself for the passing of her mother, and then after her dad also got sick, she's, like, really worried about it. Her main point is searching for someone she can talk to and be with, but she's afraid to, like, step out on her own. Scarlet is a ginger with amber eyes, but not gonna lie, I changed it to be more hazel like me. And brings her headphones with her everywhere she goes. She always wears a sweater for comfort and to hide the faded scars, and carries her sketchbook with her. I know, very original. She tries very hard to raise money so she can take her dad to a hospital, but all the jobs had low wage and her brother Finley moved out. Yuna verbally bullied Scarlet, and once even got physical. Normally, it's just name-calling, chasing Scarlet to scare her, and making fun of her for not being able to afford helping her dad, but Scarlet did her best to not let it distract her. Cupid first arrived, Scarlet thought that her lack of food and sleep was causing her to hallucinate. After finding out he was very much real, she was annoyed because he never stopped talking or following her around. Over time, Cupid helped her take care of herself and eat as well. One day, her dad passed away and Scarlet broke down in the middle of the school hallway as people stared at her. Only Yuna stepped up to help. It was awkward at first, but eventually Yuna caved in and gave Scarlet a hug. Ever since then, Yuna and Scarlet restarted and became close friends. It took Scarlet a long time before she could fully trust Yuna again. Also because of, like, you know, the bullying and stuff. Yeah, but you'll figure out the reason why later. Cupid was almost out of time though, and noticed that Yuna had fallen in love with Scarlet, who had no idea. This was just him making mistakes and Yuna's genuine happiness for love. Oh, this was just him mistaking Yuna's genuine happiness for love. One day, Yuna and Scarlet were on the rooftop, watching the stars and laughing, but Cupid only had a minute left. Scarlet screamed at him not to shoot because she was so scared Yuna would hate her forever. But Cupid did it anyway, and as soon as his arrow hit Yuna, he disappeared. Gusts of wind wiped through, and when Scarlet opened her eyes, she saw Cupid was gone, and she was horrified and stared down at Yuna. When Yuna woke up, she was confused, but seemed happy to see Scarlet. After Cupid was exiled, by the way, I'm reading his exilation below this, and after he was exiled, the effects of his arrow wore off on Yuna. Oh, okay, I don't know why I put that this way. Yuna was fuming with anger, mortified at the fact that it had all been a lie. Scarlet cried and tried to explain it to Yuna, but Yuna didn't believe her and thought Cupid was just a made-up story and left Scarlet alone. Yuna. Her struggles are her parents are very famous people and often aren't home, like on business trips and stuff, you know. She finds herself alone, and when she tries to talk to someone about how she feels, she's told that she's in the wrong for being selfish for other people's time. So she became a bully at her school and hopes for attention, so she wouldn't be alone. By the way, please don't do this. If you're alone, just, like, do it in a nice way. Don't be a bully, please. Her main goal is finding someone who actually understands her, but she's more outgoing about it. Like, she doesn't want to be abandoned, so she tries to make it seem like she has people around her. She's basically the opposite of Scarlet, if that makes more sense. Yuna grew up a quiet girl and bullied when she was younger. She was always told that when she was bullied, she was supposed to go and get help, but when she asked for help, no one came. So she decided to change her style and become a popular girl in the school. I know, very stereotypical. She loved the attention and friends and continues to bully Scarlet. She did this because she was secretly jealous that Scarlet had loving parents who would spend time with her. This was before her dad passed. One day, she found Scarlet crying in the school. She quietly sat down, listening to Scarlet talk about how alone she felt. She didn't tell Scarlet this, but Yuna understands how she feels and gives Scarlet a hug. Over time, Scarlet and Yuna become close friends and always hang out together. One night, they were watching the stars. By the way, this is because Scarlet's family used to do that, so that's just kind of her way of expressing what she likes to do. Laughing and talking. She realized she had felt genuinely happy around her, but didn't say anything because she didn't want to scare her away. By the way, she doesn't know about Cupid, so when the arrow hit Yuna, she forgot all her original hatred for Scarlet alongside the bullying. By the way, while I'm reading this out loud to myself now, I realize how, how random I'm throwing the lore out. Like, instead of putting it in order, it's all, like, chopped up. So, hopefully this makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll reorganize it and make another video, just, like, let me know. Yuna after the arrow. Yuna, while under the effects of Cupid's arrow, is deeply in love with Scarlet, and does things like giving her gifts, spending time with her, and trying to get Scarlet to confess to her. Yuna wasn't aware that she was under the effects of the arrow. Scarlet after the arrow hit Yuna. Scarlet had felt very guilty and ashamed of Cupid. She kept trying to push Yuna away and leave, but over time Scarlet slowly grew more and more comfortable with Yuna and was starting to find herself happier than before. Then I skipped Cupid's lore so it seemed more clear. Cupid, his struggles, he doesn't know anything about his past, body dysmorphia, doesn't know who or what he is. He's under the control by Magnolia and Dove. Cupid was created by the higher-ups, aka what the Cupids call their creators. Magnolia is the leader, a tall woman with pink eyes and fluffy red hair, and light brown skin with freckles. My bad, not freckles. Flowers were in her hair, and her halo was more unique than the other cupids. Dove was a young man who had features like a dove, and would train the other cupids, and was able to transform into a dove as well. Very original, I know. By the way, Cupid isn't trained. Also, he only has 1 year to finish his assignment, aka Scarlet. Cupid, when first meeting Scarlet, was very annoying and overly friendly, also very cheerful. He knew nothing about the world or how this all works since he was technically only 1 day old, even if he looked 16 to 18. By the way, this might change in the future because I feel like 1 day old is like a little, I don't know. Might change that. But he has the mindset of an older person, if that makes more sense. Because he was created that way. Cupid becomes close friends with Scarlet over time as well, and learns about her interests. After seeing how Yuna and Scarlet had changed and became closer friends, he noticed a shift in Yuna's personality and saw that she had a crush on Scarlet, or so he thought. Suddenly, the clock on his belt began to click faster and faster. He was almost out of time, so he raised his bow and shot Yuna. Cupid, after he shot, aka his exhalation. I'm kind of embarrassed to, act this out, so, just take it as well, okay? Magnolia, do you have any idea how foolish you were? Cupid, I'm sorry. I had a minute left. What was I supposed to do? Stand there and die? They were in love, so... Dove. In love? Are you a fool? They weren't in love. You chose yourself over them, Cupid. No, I didn't mean that. I wouldn't betray them. I couldn't. I'll make it up to you, please. Just 1 week and I swear Magnolia, no. You've had enough time. First you disgrace us Cupids by being foolish, then you fail your 1 assignment, and now you plead for more time? You're no Cupid. A Cupid who can't even understand love is a mistake. Please, I am a Cupid. I am. If not, I'm nothing. Please. Dove, then you should have proved it while you had the time. Here's where his wings and hair are being torn off, and he falls into earth and yeah. But as Dove tore off the wings, he hesitates, almost saying Magnolia's name. He knew it wasn't right, but in the end, he chose to stay loyal and rips off his wings. Not his wings, like Cupid's wings, by the way. I don't know why I say like that. My grammar isn't the best, okay? After Cupid is transformed into a human and hitting Earth, he has to recover from a twisted ankle and sore pains due to the fall. He lives with Scarlet and tries to keep her company, even though she's been quiet and distant. Over time, he learns how to act more human and asks questions like, why am I cold? What's this? So, how do you read a book exactly? And things like that. Scarlet slowly cheers up after being with Cupid, and one day she runs into Yuna and Cupid. Turns out, Cupid saw her walking and instantly ran out to say hi, explaining that he was Cupid, and Yuna looked freaked out. Scarlet explains everything, and after Yuna realized Scarlet had told the truth, they apologize. Over time, Yuna gets used to Cupid, and her relationship with Scarlet grows into something more. Obviously, it takes a long time for the three to recover, but eventually they make it work. Okay, so here's more lore about, Magnolia and the other Cupids along with Dove. Magnolia's lore. Magnolia doesn't actually understand love because she gave all of hers away to the other Cupids so they could spread it around. She slowly becomes jealous and bitter that everyone else can experience it. So when Cupid was created, she gave up on trying to train him from day one. She tries to understand and fall in love on her own, but it never works, so she fakes it, and pretends to be happy and content even though she was just fuming with jealousy and hatred for Cupid. And Dove's lore. Dove is kind of just a side character, to be honest, but he does play a big role in Cupid being exiled and training the other Cupids except for Cupid. Dove has a secret crush on Magnolia, but he fails to show it because he realized that she will never reciprocate anyone's feelings. So instead, he tries to impress her by training other Cupids and staying loyal to her. That's all the lore I got so far, but I might make you fall in love. Not sure yet, but we'll see. And then P.S. If you made it this far and watched my lore video, I owe you one, for real. In the description, I have an OC Q&A. The first 3 to submit the questions will be the first ones in the video with shoutouts. Oh, I spelled shoutout wrong. Thank you for listening to my lore. For real though, thank you for listening. And if you like my characters, please do tell me, because I'm really hesitant to even share this with anyone, especially if they're so long. So if you like my characters, let me know. If there's any changes you think I should add, or any specific scenes or questions you just have about them, tell me that. And make sure you check out my Q&A. Thanks.